Making heads turn is not just an expression. You make that happen. I've known people who were really conventionally attractive, were very intelligent, but when we would sit together, when I would meet them, talk to them, I was so put off. I've also known people who were not just physically attractive, but had such a good energy system around them, I wanted to spend more time with them. And that really got me thinking, what sets these people apart from the rest? What could it possibly be? How do we not just physically look attractive, but use psychology to our advantage and crack the code? Now, if you're new here, hi, I am Sana Grover and I am a student of psychology. I'm currently doing my master's in counseling psychology. I wanted to make this video backed by theories and experiments that have been tried again and again, tried and tested. So I'm not just saying something, there's actual science to prove it. Now, according to the evolutionary theory, it all started years and years and years ago. This theory tells us why certain traits are more attractive than others by linking them to our ancestral need of finding a suitable partner and reproducing and parenting with them. To oversimplify a complex topic, attraction is basically the science of attracting good genes. So if you want to look and become more attractive, here is what you need to do. Let's start with the most basic one, looks. You want to make sure you're taking very good care of how you look. You want to upgrade your looks, and that includes your fitness, your grooming, skincare, and of course the way you dress in your everyday life. Simply put, fitness indicates good health and reproductive capability. While this may sound controversial to some, our mental and evolutionary hardwiring is still the very same. Subconsciously, we still look out for these factors. So when we see someone going to the gym or taking very good care of their fitness, doing any kind of physical activity, having a balanced diet, taking care of their weight, focusing on their strength, it automatically makes them more attractive compared to somebody who is very laid back, very chilled out about their fitness, does not really care too much about it. Now, this is true for girls as much as it is for guys. Taking out even 1 hour 3 days a week is good enough to get started. Working out also releases a happy hormone that puts you in a very good state of mind. So when you're around other people, you will instantly radiate that kind of positivity. According to science, clear, healthy skin indicates good genetics. Keep in mind, we are not actively aware about our selection criteria. It's not like when you step into a room full of new people, you instantly think, oh, this is the person I want to be friends with because he or she has clear skin. That's not what happens on our conscious level, but subconsciously, this is our pre-existing, our dominant selection criteria. When all of us are hardwired to think the same way, the selection criteria pretty much remains the same. So when you want to look more attractive, I want you to know exactly what goes on in someone else's mind when they see you, when they perceive you. Have a skincare routine that goes beyond using just a face wash and a moisturizer. If you have skin concerns, make sure you are addressing them. What might work for me might not work for you, and what might work for you might not work for me. We might also have different skin concerns, and a dermat knows exactly how to deal with this. So I would highly recommend consulting one. Next up is smelling good. Certain scents trigger attraction through pheromones, which, if we go by evolutionary theory, influence subconscious mate selection. Scents also take you back to a certain time and place. So if, for instance, you wear a signature perfume and you go out and you meet somebody, let's say 2 weeks later, they go to some place and they smell a very similar kind of fragrance, they are more likely than not to remember you. Now, while this does boil down to personal preference, according to research, some of the best scents for men are woody, spicy, and aquatic scents. For women, floral, fruity, and sweeter scents tend to work the charm. When it comes to looks, facial symmetry is something that is very important. While most of us don't have much control over our own facial symmetry, naturally at least, sunglasses are my personal favorite way of creating some kind of mystery while also creating symmetry on your face. Having well-groomed eyebrows also creates facial symmetry. Next up is hair. When you feel confident and comfortable in your own appearance, it obviously enhances your self-esteem and your self-confidence. On days when you put together a really nice outfit, your hair is nicely washed, cleaned, and styled, before stepping out, when you look into the mirror and say to yourself, I actually look really good today, that's the day you will instantly start feeling more attractive to yourself and even to others. Your hair length and hairstyle should make you feel like your best self. For me, a nice medium to long length works really well. Plus, if I've styled my hair, nicely curled my hair, it gives me such a big boost of self-confidence. Why are we more attracted towards people who dress well, who put an effort into how they are looking, who find good quality pieces to wear? In psychology, there is a social identity theory. This is the way we signal group membership and social status. Now, in the past, this influenced attractiveness by indicating your social and economic resources. But does that mean you always have to spend a lot in order to look attractive? Absolutely not. If you've been on this channel for quite a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Having said that, you do want to make sure you have a few investment pieces that will last you a long time. These might be for a higher price point, but if you do compare the cost per wear, you will realize this is a much better choice than something cheaper. Have you ever thought about it? When we see someone who dresses well, who looks very nice, we turn around, we give them our attention, and this doesn't really happen consciously. We're just naturally hardwired to feel this way. That is just how humans work, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, use it to your advantage. By the way, all of us do have a particular signature color. If you want to know what is yours, I will leave a link to the video right over here and in the description box below, so make sure you have a look at that after you're done watching this one. Whenever you're wearing something that you don't resonate with, maybe you got it as a gift, maybe you bought it but you're not really inclined towards wearing that anymore, maybe your style has changed and it's something that you've had in your wardrobe for years and years, you haven't discarded it. If and when you wear it and you don't feel confident in it, what is the point? Save those clothes for when you're just lounging around at home, and when you want to actually make an impression, make sure you're dressing in the way that makes you feel most comfortable. Clothes that you resonate with, clothes that you like, ones that make you feel confident. And all of us have those clothes in our wardrobes, and deep down we also know which ones those pieces are. Alright, but apart from looks, what does science really say about attraction? Let's talk about body language. People are more likely to be attracted to those who show they like them. This is called reciprocal liking, and it basically fosters mutual affection and positive appreciation for each other. So how do you do this? The easiest way is to use your body language. Something as simple as having a gentle smile and maintaining eye contact when someone is talking to you. Even nodding your head slightly in the middle of the conversation to show appreciation and validate what they're saying. This goes a long way in showing someone you're interested in them and in what they have to say. Fix your posture. Good posture isn't just about looking good. It's rooted in our evolution and signals health and confidence. We've all seen the evolutionary chart. We are now fully capable of standing upright, standing straight. When you sit with the right posture, it shows you're fit and you're energetic. It also screams confidence and being self-assured. Imagine you go out on a date and the person you're meeting sits like this the entire time. Chances are you'll not feel like they're confident or they can be a good leader. Think of posture as a magnet for attraction. So sit right, sit erect, and do not be droopy. Now, if you would like an entire video on body language do's and don'ts, leave a comment down below and I would love to make that for you, because body language is honestly so underrated. You have no idea. It can change the game. Now, there are certain personality traits that set some people apart from the others. More than looks, more than what you're wearing, more than how you talk, these personality traits are very easy to remember, very easy to even implement in your day-to-day life, but most of us take these for granted and forget they actually even exist. Think of these as underrated cheat codes. Point number 1 is optimism. Have you ever met somebody who just keeps on complaining about the most basic things that you wouldn't even possibly think about, that might not even bother you in the slightest way, but when you meet them and they start with their complaint session, their rant session, literally everything in the world seems like a problem. You know what? The world is a nice place, and people who seem to be very critical for the smallest of things, I don't think they create a very nice energy system around them. If you find yourself doing this very often, make sure you zip it up. Yes, once in a while it's okay to rant, it's okay to vent when you're with your friends, but when you're meeting somebody for the first time, or even in general, there needs to be a boundary. After a point, the complaints just need to stop and you need to start appreciating life for what it is. Now, I know this is easier said than done. Some people might be staying in a family that does not support their career or their life choices. Some people might not be surrounded with the best set of friends and they need an outlet to vent to, which is why therapy really helps. But when you're trying to meet somebody for the first time, a tiny little rant here or there is okay, but make sure that does not become a habit. Psychologists developed the Big 5 personality traits framework to understand human personality traits a lot better. This includes openness to experiences, conscientiousness or being dependable and disciplined, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. But let's talk about openness to experiences for a minute. When you meet somebody, be open to new ideas and new perspectives. Every person comes with their own set of perspectives and thoughts and opinions, and while you might be very fixated on your particular opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that, make sure that you're at least hearing them out and you're open to what they have to say instead of just simply shutting them off. When you are open to experiences, you instantly radiate this kind of magnetic energy and show to the world that you are happy about life. We all live in a society where culture is valued quite a lot, so having culturally rich hobbies obviously makes you stand out. If you're confused about where to start, here are a few examples. Golf has always been a very attractive sport and it indicates patience and precision. Horse riding reflects a connection to animals, to nature, and to discipline, which is why in a lot of royal themed movies you will see the prince always knows how to ride a horse. When you see a masculine figure connected to nature and to animals, it instantly blends the masculine and feminine energies together. So when you see a man in touch with their feminine side, it instantly becomes so attractive. And the same way, when you see a woman who is in touch with her masculine energy, which we all again have to some degree, that becomes a powerful combination. Playing the guitar shows you're creative and you have musical talent. Performing arts like dance show an appreciation for beauty and for movement. Being aware of what is going around you socially and culturally shows that you are up to date and well aware. It also leads to very intellectually stimulating conversations, and I for one have always always been a fan of such conversations. Next up is social etiquette. Now I can go on and on about social etiquette. By the way, I do have an entire book called The Glow Up Guide, which helps you glow up in all areas of your life. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and even professionally. I will leave a link to the book right down below in the description box, so make sure you have a look. We've already sold so many copies and we've got such good reviews. You can read the reviews on Amazon, on Flipkart, and if you truly want to level up, make sure you get the book for yourself. Good social etiquette and proper manners show to the world that you are considerate, you are thoughtful, and you're not just somebody who is arrogant. When you go to a restaurant and you place an order, make sure you're kind to the staff. The same way when you're traveling in an airplane, I've seen so many people who talk rudely to the staff, and that is not okay. Attractiveness is not just measured by how you look, but also by how you treat other people. If you would like to know more about good social etiquette, make sure you get your hands on the book. Now, this is completely my personal opinion, but when somebody knows how to use cutlery the right way and to place that cutlery, basically when they know how to fine dine, that is very attractive to me, because that shows you pay attention to detail and attention to social norms. We all live in a society that values certain norms, and when you abide by those, you instantly become more charismatic and more attractive. Mastery of fine dining etiquette often comes with confidence and poise. That makes the person appear more self-assured, more graceful. If you are interested in social etiquette and fine dining skills, the Glow Up Guide has a particular chapter all about that. A good sense of spontaneous humor is such an attractive quality. When in the middle of a conversation, you can just throw in a casual joke or a punchline without offending somebody. That makes you an instant charmer. If you think good jokes don't naturally come to you, it's absolutely fine. Just be playful in your everyday conversations. Just be nice and happy and chirpy, and don't talk about very serious topics, unless of course that's the point of the conversation. Be goal driven, be ambitious. Now, I'm not saying fall into the hustle culture to look attractive, but you need to have something going on for you. Have you ever noticed in a friendship or in a relationship, when one person is really busy and the other is not, the person who is not very busy seems to revolve their entire life around the other person, and that looks very clingy, that looks very kind of desperate. But when both people are balanced, there's so much positive attraction. Now, here are a few psychological tricks that I would recommend you note down. Number one is, when you walk into a room, don't be shy, introduce yourself. Practice your introduction. You might do this multiple times on your own in front of a mirror so that you know you're confident when you're saying it. When I was in finishing school, we were asked to do this activity. We were supposed to walk into a room and introduce ourselves, and most of us had our arms crossed like this while walking into a room, or like this. This shows that you have a closed energy system. You don't want outside energy to enter you. Keep your arms open. Don't sit like this when you're introducing yourself to the other person. When you sit like this confidently and calmly, it shows you're more approachable, and people like to talk to people who are approachable and people who are relatable. When you're trying to charm somebody, it is very easy to get carried away. But learn to read the room. Do not dominate or be in dominance when it is not required. When I was in college, there was a boy in my class who had hosted a house party, and all of us went to his house party. There was this girl he was trying to impress. This guy was trying to be unnecessarily cool and was trying to sort of show off. He was talking arrogantly to his staff. Did the girl get impressed by all of this? Absolutely not. Was it attractive? Absolutely not. Arrogance is loud, confidence is quiet. A cheat code in getting people to like you is to remember their name. This is especially true if you're in a bigger event where there are a lot of people. Let's say a birthday party, let's say a professional conference. A good way to do this is to take their LinkedIn ID or their Instagram account, or even to repeat their name back. So for example, if I say my name is Sana, you repeat it back saying, oh hi Sana, nice to meet you. Or Sana, right? Sana Grover, is that right? So something like that, which basically reinforces their name in your own mind. Make people feel included. If you want to become cool, if you want to become popular, this is a really good way to do this. People love others who make them feel as a part of the group. If a newcomer is there, go out of your way to make them feel included. If you and your friend are having a conversation and somebody else joins the group, you want to make sure you are introducing what conversation is going on. It might be very briefly, but do introduce. Do make them feel like they belong to the group. People love talking about themselves. So if you ever feel like you don't know what to talk about, the conversation is going nowhere, just simply ask them about themselves. Ask them as much as you can about what they do, what they enjoy, their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes, their tastes, their upbringing, their schooling. This also eases the burden of carrying on the conversation. We as humans want to feel valued, we want to feel validated, and when somebody is conversing with us, when they want to know more about us, when they ask us questions that make us talk about ourselves, we love doing that. So similarly, if you want to be more attractive, let people talk about themselves. Human beings love doing that. And finally, always have go-to topics that are engaging and not controversial. This includes any kind of fun stories that you have to tell, any experiences, and this is where being open to experiences, being aware, being up to date, and having hobbies also comes into the picture. When you meet somebody for the first time, try to avoid conversations that could be slightly offensive or could be taken in the wrong way in any shape or form. Some safe topics to talk about are travels and upbringing, your education, art or weather, or your areas of interest. All of these topics are not controversial and they will make sure that the conversation goes on smoothly. That's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you took something away from it, including facts and theories as to why a certain trait makes us more attractive compared to others. Think of this as your ultimate guide to becoming more attractive. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and leave your comments down below letting me know what other videos you'd like to watch. And if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe because that helps me reach so many more people. I would love for you to join our family on Instagram as well, and I'm going to see you very soon. Till then, bye bye.